Well, this is a special episode of The Line where we're filming live on location at the Blackline Institute graduation. So we're doing kind of a rapid fire, just having some different conversations, sitting down with people as they come in. It might be business owners, it might be students. We figured it'd be good to start off, with the director of training for the Blackline Institute. So tonight's kind of a big deal. What's going on?
Well, tonight we're celebrating all the hard work that our students have put in over the past year, and starting this school year, we're celebrating all the students as they graduate from level 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 4, launching them out. Yeah. And so it's just, man, it's all about them. So you can see in the back behind us, you get friends, family, kids, relatives, girlfriends, boyfriends, significant others, and it's just a night all about them.
Absolutely. Well, and I think also there's another thing that we're celebrating here tonight, and there have been a lot of businesses that have partnered with us, different trade partners that have come on board. I saw that we received the actual certification.
Oh, yeah.
So this is Blackline's graduation tonight as well,
yep.
where we are a certified accredited apprenticeship program here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, so it was our first graduation ceremony as an accredited state program, which is awesome.
Absolutely.
And a huge step for the program, and it's a huge step for Central Pennsylvania. It's a huge step for the contractors in Central Pennsylvania, electrical contractors in Central Pennsylvania, that we can come alongside them and provide an accredited training program for all the contractors in Central Pennsylvania and even outside of Central Pennsylvania. So
yeah,
definitely.
I'm kind of excited here tonight. We have Carl Morowski, pretty big YouTube guy who rates, clothing, boots, tools, the whole 9 yards, and did a podcast with him, a year and a half, 2 years ago, and learned that he was an electrician. So he's actually speaking tonight to our students. He's sharing with them just some motivations about what it is that they are doing. I've heard a little bit about what he's going to say. I'm pretty excited about it. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a special night. I think the students are in for a treat, and everyone's in for a treat with that one, for sure. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. We have some government officials here also that are going to be sharing this evening and talking about what's going on with Blackline. The thing that I would say is, you say it's a big thing for Central PA and whatnot, but there is 48 other states on this, country that we have here. So we're coming for you.
49.
Yeah, 49. 48. Well, I don't count California.
Oh, okay. I think maybe there's one you don't count there.
So the event's happening tonight. There's some special gifts going to be happening. We have the food back here.
Yep.
Carl's going to be sharing.
Yeah, challenge coins. We're giving out challenge coins.
Absolutely.
And so, it's going to be a good night. We have a lot of our advisory boards here. Yeah. And they support us and been advising us through the accreditation process and what the industry needs out of a program and what they need from Blackline and the Institute specifically. We're just celebrating. Everybody's coming, hanging out, having a good time, and just getting together. So it's a lot of fun. It's going to be a good time.
Absolutely. It is going to be good. Caleb, what would you say is one of the biggest things for you this past year with the students and the companies that you've worked with that just impresses upon you as to why we keep going, why we're doing what we're doing?
It's a lot, but I mean the people, the students, the students, that person I know that's out there having some crap job that they're out there that they could be a great electrician. They just need the tools. They need the motivation. They need the guidance. And then the people, the business owners that need the pipeline as all their employers are retiring out and they're freaking out of what's going to happen to their business or the business, And so it's the people that motivate me and keep me fired up and keep me going. Yeah, it's helping the people.
Well, Caleb, I really appreciate just you being a part of the team and holding the line with us.
No, it's an honor.
I feel like those who are here tonight, whether they're students, whether they're part of the advisory board, we're all holding the line here to make the trades better, to improve upon what's here. And I'm very excited to see these men and women here tonight and get recognized for what they've done.
So I'm looking forward to recognizing them, and it's going to be a good time.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Well, Caleb, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome to The Line. Doug. This is a special episode here tonight at Blackline's graduation in 2025. Blackline is graduating tonight as well as the students, which is a big part of why you're here. You are a member of our advisory board here at Blackline, and you have been for a couple of years now.
Yep.
So I'm curious just to ask, for those who might be listening and tuning in and wondering what Blackline is about, you were one of the first to make a decision to come alongside people who some might consider competitors and say, I want to be a part of this. I want to make a difference. Why did you do that, Doug?
Okay, well, first I'd like to say I'm honored to be here. I truly am.
Yeah.
So thank you for inviting me. One of the reasons was your take on basically the soft skills, morals, work ethic, the whole 9 yards. It really hits home. I have about 35 guys in the field, 12 of which are in an apprenticeship program right now, and they all need guidance.
Yeah.
A lot more guidance than you'd really think.
Yeah.
So the soft skills are huge, and I'm really impressed that you guys, right out of the gate, were attacking that.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. I think that one of the things that we've realized in training, it's about improving who you are as an individual and a worker all the way around. You know, someone who has a better understanding of what it is to have those other soft skills makes for a better worker, more efficient, more effective, so that we can really make a difference on the job site and change the view of our industry. You know, we say, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to add, you're building electricians, but you're building men.
Absolutely.
And I think you said that early on, we're building people here. We're building a better America.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think, I recently was on a conference call with a guy, a huge contractor here in the United States, and he said to me, he goes, we're either in for a total blackout or we're in for the biggest amount of work that we've ever seen in the United States of America to date. And I believe it's the latter.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal. So I'm really stoked about what we're doing, what's going on, and I believe that more of us need to step up to the line and make a difference in what we're doing here. So I guess, I know it's hard while he's talking in the background, but I can ignore that. I guess my other question for you would be, as far as when you talk about the people and building a better America, you talk about the soft skills, you talk about those things. What is it as a company, as a business owner, that you make the decision to invest in your people? Because it's not inexpensive to send people to apprenticeship, and when you multiply that by 35, it's very expensive.
It is.
So why do you make that investment, Doug?
Well, my father always said it was hard to hire electricians.
Yeah.
So you build them.
Yeah.
And again, not to beat a dead horse, but I really like how you're building not only electricians, but better men, better people.
Yeah.
What do you get out of ownership when you own a company? Part of, there's a lot of perks, but one of the things is I really enjoy knowing that I've helped other people.
Yeah.
I've helped other people become better.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always pay off.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
But you gotta lick your wounds and move forward.
Don't you feel like it's kind of like the stock market in the sense of when you invest in people, it's for the long term. Like
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like you might have one out of five that maybe ends up really connecting and they align with what you're doing and you can move forward that. But it's about that long-term goal and not getting distracted by, the one or two that, and it's painful, trust me, I know. But having that drive and that grit to continue to move forward.
Yep.
And I have to give him crap about that. He was long-winded. That was a long prayer.
So I'll tell you a story about, investing for the future. One of our very first apprentices, strapping young lad, country boy,
Yeah.
drove a Chevy, which I love. he really set the world on fire, and he was doing such a great job for us. And he started running work early. We had him in a vehicle early. He might have been third year, and he was just doing a wonderful job. And eventually, after, I think he stayed with us for about 9 years.
Wow.
And finally, he came and he said he's starting his own company. And that might upset some people, but I'll be honest with you, I was pretty proud of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
I have many a person who was part of organizations that I had founded or started companies, and they have went out on their own, and I actually take that as the greatest compliment.
it is.
Because and the reality is there is more than enough work out there. So, well, Doug, I appreciate you sitting down with us. I appreciate your investment over the past couple of years, and we're here today, and it's not a celebration just about the students or even Blackline, but it is about the industry and what we're doing. And really, I just want to say to you, thank you for not only stepping up to the line to make a difference, but holding the line with us. We have been holding the line, and we're going to continue to do that, and I want to say thank you for your participation.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I'm impressed with what you're doing.
Welcome to the line. This little, short recap, fast podcast thing that we're doing here tonight at our graduation. I'm sitting here with Matt Eshelman of CHN Site Contracting. Did I say that right?
Construction, not contracting.
Construction.
All good, brother.
Construction. That's because they do it all. So I did notice on your feed the other day that I saw some of your guys doing concrete work.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
It was impressive. I was super proud of him.
Yeah, and that was a great
badass.
video too.
It was.
Like, seriously. Well done.
The team.
But a lot of people don't realize, you're the president of CHN, and you're on our advisory board here at Blackline, and you have been for a couple of years. You were one of the first. Matter of fact, one of the things that's going to happen tonight with students is they're going to be receiving challenge coins.
Very cool.
You were one of the first to receive what we call a founder's coin, being someone who was willing to accept the challenge and be a part of what we're trying to do here at Blackline. Could you share with those, maybe pull your mic a little closer,
Okay.
Share with those of us that are listening, why have you made the decision to make that investment and continue to be on our advisory board these past couple of years?
Yeah, so thanks for asking that question. So when I think about, Josh, like what you're trying to build, right? And and just the investing in the youth of of this nation, and just the opportunity that's in front of them. And then when you take somebody such as yourself in this institute and what you guys have built and created, and then just to invest in our future, right, and just have more people, more of the young people join the trades versus going to the colleges and doing that stuff. There's when I think about my son, there's so much opportunity in the trades for him, and like the more kids we can get to realize that and want to be part of the trades versus college and that other stuff. Not that college is a bad thing. The trades aren't for everybody, but I think the trades are for more people than people realize, right? Like you can make a great living doing what we do, what I do, what you do, right? And I just so when I find people that want to invest in other people's future, like that's super engaging to me. So that's the story you told me the first time we met, and I'm like, yeah, I'd like to be part of that. So that's why I chose to say yes when you asked me if I'd be on the advisory board, and that's why I'm willing to continue if you need me. So
well, I love having people. Doug, who's also on our advisory board with D-Rock Electric, was just sitting here a few minutes ago, and I love being aligned with like-minded people who have the values. Like what you talk about is why we're doing this. And you talk about the next generation. They're right behind us here.
right?
They're right behind us here, and it honestly is something. People might think that it's noble, but really it's not. I mean, the reality is, I want to invest in the next generation because, as I come to the end of life, I still want things to work.
100%.
And the other thing is too, I believe that the work that we're doing and the people that we're investing in, when you talk about college versus trades, it's like, I don't think it's either or. I think it's, hey, this is a great way to start.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that my father said to me was, he said, learn a trade, and then if you want to go do something else. I just heard Mike Rowe the other day saying, hey, listen, you could have a mountain of debt, or you could have a career. And I think
it's like a no-brainer to me.
Exactly. And it's not like you can't go to college at a later time. And so I think that I think you bring up some really good points of what you're talking about. And your company really is investing. You're the first boots on the ground, and I have to give kudos to you for the invasion stripes as a part of your logo. You just had a post the other day that talked about that and what that's about. And so I just really wanted to say thank you, Matt, for your investment in Blackline and these people that are here tonight.
Well, thanks for asking, and it's a privilege and an honor, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for holding the line with us. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So I'm sitting here with Jeff McCleary, and you are a fourth-year graduate of the Blackline Institute, and so it's official now. You have graduated to journeyman status. Congratulations, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you've been going through the program over the past few years now. Can you just present to us and show us on camera here?
So I can make sure I have this right way up.
Yeah.
There we go. Camera
So there's
one,
your certificate
number 2.
from the Blackline Institute. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So tell me a little bit about, from your perspective as a student, these past few years in the program, going through it, what are some of the things that stood out to you that, you've been in other schools, you've been in other programs. What is it about Blackline that really stood out to you as a student?
So I think the biggest thing is that I could tell that everyone involved in Blackline really cared about their students and cared about investing in them. They prioritized their students. And I think a big way they did that was the fact that they took time out of the workday and allowed students to take that time, about half a day every other Friday, to have class instead of forcing everyone to do a full 40-hour week, 50-hour week, and then also try and squeeze class time in the evenings, taking time away from their families.
Yeah.
They prioritize them by investing in them and giving up some of that workday to the students.
Yeah.
And giving them that opportunity.
What are some of the things, and that's a true statement to the companies that are involved in sending students to Blackline. A lot of our companies, I think something like 96% of them, maybe 95, actually are fully paying not only for their students to go through the program, but they're also then paying them while they're in class as well. So that's a real testament to the organizations that are a part of this. I guess my question for you would be, having gone through the program, you've had multiple, we call them mentors instead of instructors. You've had multiples there. So my question for you is, Jeff, I'm not going to ask you who your favorite mentor was, but what is something that stood out to you in the teaching and the way that they're sharing knowledge with you?
So I think the best way that knowledge can be shared is through stories.
Yeah.
And to get that firsthand knowledge of, they would give examples from their work life, their experiences, things that physically happened to them firsthand. I think that's a great way to pass on knowledge.
Yeah.
And you can't get that reading a book. It doesn't come across the same way. So to be in that room with them, to be able to ask questions and hear their experiences, their knowledge firsthand like that, it's the best way to learn.
Absolutely. One of the statements that the mentors like to say is, the Blackline Institute, it's more than a classroom. What does that statement mean to you?
So I definitely think it doesn't feel like a traditional classroom where you come in, the teacher will pull up a slideshow, you read the slides, they point at the slideshow, you read a book, that sort of thing. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like you're actually a part of something.
Yeah.
There'll be demonstrations. We have guests come in. We've done a couple kind of like field trips, go out and actually see different facilities. It makes you actually feel like you're a part of the business and the culture even before you've graduated. They really make you feel involved.
Yeah. So, last question here. What would you say to individuals out there who, you have a very interesting story. You have a 4-year degree.
I do. I did go to college before joining the trades.
Yeah, and you graduated.
I did. I graduated.
You completed it. You have a degree in
mechanical engineering.
Mechanical engineering. and then you decided to go into the trades and to go into a trade apprenticeship program.
I did. I decided that wasn't enough. I wanted more.
So tell me, what would you say to people, like to individuals out there that are like, well, I'm not sure what I want to do. Which way do I want to go? Where do I want to put my time? Where do I want to put my investment? That are making that choice, either if they're later in life or wherever, but specifically, I guess, I'm asking, they're coming out of high school, they're going out into the world. What would you say to them?
I would say to explore all the options that are out there. I didn't really know much about the trades, that was much of an option. There's a lot of stigmas around that.
Yeah.
My high school definitely was funneling people into college. So if you can try and break out of that and just see what options are actually out there and available to you, if you have the opportunity to work in a trade for a year before you go to college is always there.
Yeah.
It's better to take a year off, try a trade, try something, and then if you still want to go to college, you can go and then get in debt, rather than going and getting in debt right off the bat like I did and then deciding to go into the trades. It's good to explore your options ahead of time.
Yeah.
So learn from my mistakes and explore your options beforehand.
Good, man. Good. Well, Jeff, congratulations on graduating the 4-year program here and becoming a journeyman electrician. More power to you, and this is only the beginning. Like this is
the beginning.
This is the launch pad for where you're going. Just like Carl said here tonight. We don't have any golden pipe benders to give you though. So,
all right.
Yeah,
I'll get my own and just spray paint it.
There you go. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Here we are. Welcome again to another mini episode of The Line as we're talking here tonight. John Sensnick, VP of Speedwell Construction, and also on the advisory board of the Blackline Institute. You're here tonight with us. Thank you, John.
You bet. You bet. Happy to be here. This was fun.
Yeah.
Very fun.
So I've been talking with different board members here tonight. I'm not going to be able to talk with everyone, but you've been on the advisory board here with us the past couple of years now. Actually, from the genesis of what we were doing.
Right.
You were one of the first. Tell me a little bit. We're at the end of the night here. You've seen the graduates and whatnot. Tell me what you're thinking.
Oh, man. Well, it's kind of emotional because I remember when we did the first graduation.
Yes.
I remember that heavy feeling of, we got to get these guys certified through the state.
Yeah.
And I remember shaking their hands and saying, we're not going to give up.
Yeah.
We're going to see this through to the end.
Yeah.
And that was accomplished tonight through lots of different people.
Yeah.
Caleb really hit home run in this program. He's an outstanding player.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
It's not sports player. He's a great individual.
Yeah.
That was really.
He's a great team member.
He is. So, but we didn't know
Right.
if it was going to work.
Yeah.
So that was really neat. I'm so happy for these guys.
I think one of the things, Representative Miller was here and he was sharing, and he mentioned the word fortitude, and he talked about endurance. For me, I think having the grit to be able to face things and continue to show up is something that we really need in the trades. Yeah. And not only in the trades, I heard a podcast the other day by a gentleman, and he goes, is all you need to succeed in life is to be able to work hard.
Right.
If you can work hard, you're going to be able to surpass most everyone else, because a lot of people don't understand what hard work really is.
Yeah. And these guys clearly do.
They clearly do.
What these folks have done in this program, they put in time, they got to focus through their work, and they got to do this while they're working.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
And it's 4 years worth.
Yeah. It is a 4-year program.
And I'm really, really proud of them for that. That's a lot of grit.
Yeah. The only difference from this 4-year program and maybe a BS program in a 4-year college is you get paid usually by the company that you work for to go through this program, and they pay for you to go through the program.
You mentioned this tonight. If anyone out there is looking at an apprenticeship program and your company doesn't pay for it, okay, you find another company to work for.
Yeah, exactly.
So companies want to pay for this.
Absolutely.
Because we need people who are willing to put work in place.
Yeah.
We need people like you and I who don't do a lot of the putting in the place.
Yeah.
We matter, right?
Yeah. People matter.
Okay, people matter. Yeah,
and
but
we're people.
but we need guys that put it in place.
Absolutely.
And you can be excellent at that, and there's a path forward for a career for you that may not be in the trenches your entire career.
Yeah.
Some guys like it. Some guys
Well,
want to do that.
our advisory board is made up of more than half of the people that are on our advisory board started in the trenches, and now they're presidents of organizations.
Yeah.
Like that's a big deal, and they're not presidents of small organizations. They're presidents of multi-million-dollar organizations that are operating in the trade space, and they've made a decision, like yourself, to invest their time. Which, let's be clear about what time is. Time is money, and the more that you're growing your career, the more of an investment that is. Yeah. And so they made that decision to do that. I guess I have a question for you, John. I know this, like, companies always, we're talking about training and improving and all that stuff, and you mentioned about companies, paying for the training. What do you have to say to those leadership teams in construction organizations, trade organizations, that don't feel like they need to pay for training? I mean, I know that your leadership team is actually investing in a training program in like a week.
Right.
They're going to be doing something here at Blackline. What do you say to those companies that are like, why would we do that?
Yeah, well, I'm quite frankly, I'm not even sure how to respond to that, because that would be pretty crazy. I'm not sure.
They're out there.
I'm not sure who you're valuing, because I don't know. Are you valuing your customer? Probably not. Are you valuing your employees and their goals? Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah.
Are you valuing your money that you want to keep and you want everything? Is it you? I'm not sure. Yeah. But if you're not and you don't know why, ask yourself what you value. Yeah. Because companies that don't invest in training, I'm not saying it's nefarious. They just are in a bad habit.
Yeah.
Think about why you're investing. Why would you invest in people?
Yeah.
Do it.
I agree.
Do it.
Well, and I mean, think about that from a standpoint of it's a statement of your value. And who do you think that the employees and the partners are going to want to work with? Those who have a statement of value of the people that are around them and that are on their team, or those who don't?
Yeah, I'm telling you, and it has to be more than just if an individual wants training.
Yeah.
You need to encourage it.
Absolutely, I agree.
Like you seek out people and offer them opportunities and encourage them and push them.
Absolutely.
I don't know how you do it without it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, John, I really just want to say thank you. I so appreciate you being a part of our board here and investing your time and helping us hold the line. You've really helped us do that in holding the line to be able to become, one, an accredited school, but also, helping us deal with and problem solve and just showing up every day. Thank you.
Thanks. It's an honor.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
All right. So, you're not the first government official that we've had on the line. I do appreciate you sitting down here and having this real and honest conversation with us. That's what we like to say that it is. But you've been here tonight as part of our graduation. You were our keynote speaker here tonight. And you've been instrumental in just sharing advice and support for Blackline through this time, and I just want to say thank you for that. And I want to just kind of talk for a minute here. The purpose of this podcast is to lift the view of the skilled trades, and we just want to talk here for a few minutes. I would like to kind of push in a little bit on what you shared tonight with the men and women that were graduating here tonight. You talked about fortitude, and it really struck me. And you actually shared a story of Ernest Shackleton and endurance, which is one of my favorite stories. A lot of people don't know that his ship actually sank, but yet they still endured. And so would you mind just kind of sharing with us why you came here tonight to the Blackline Institute, and why a little bit of what you shared and why this matters to you? Is that a fair question?
It certainly is, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here and to talk about this. I'll start going back a bit, before I was a state representative, I was a middle school guidance counselor. And as I referenced here tonight, back in that day, I understood clearly as I started seeing what was happening as young people, the big pressure to go to college and get a college degree, which is all fine and very good, but it wasn't for everybody. And I was watching young people go to college, get a degree of some sort, come out of college and have a huge amount of debt and no job.
Yeah.
And that was happening over and over and over again. And so I started steering the young people to the best as I could. You know, wanted to be fair to all people because not everyone's going to go in the trades, that sort of thing. But I wanted to really emphasize something that was not being emphasized at the time, and saying, young people, you need to look into the future, see what's going ahead. You have an option for maybe a good job if you're fortunate. If you go the four-year college route, but you're still going to have probably the debt and you may not have a job, why don't you look at some of the other options that have this many opportunities, this many people applying for them, and the pay and the debt is going way down. You don't have that as a consideration. So from early on, I started really recognizing this issue. From now, my role as a state representative, I look at it from a bigger picture, and that from a structural standpoint of what we need in terms of Pennsylvania, we don't have enough people in the trades. And they talk about the big bubble of those who are in their 50s and 60s who are about ready to retire. Yeah. And we don't have enough people to meet the jobs and the demand of our workforce for what is necessary for the mechanical, trades-oriented side of our workforce that we need to make our society run well. And from a policy standpoint, I'm working with my colleagues up in Harrisburg to advance that so we can make it easier for young people to get into the skilled trades.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one thing. You know that it's a problem when the government is getting on board.
Absolutely.
I mean,
too late, mind you.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to be offensive here, but I will be. When the government is getting on board, that means that too many people are crying out, it is too late. And we say that statement, too late. It's never too late. The reality is you can make a difference and you can turn things around. And government has done that throughout history. We have made decisions and we have made changes. And when you're on the one side of a precipice, we'll call it, it's like it can feel so daunting and so overwhelming. But the reality is we actually can make a difference in the trades. We can turn around the direction that we're going as a country. We can make a change for a better industry all the way around. But it all comes from what you were talking about with the students earlier tonight, which is fortitude and endurance, to be able to not give up and continue to go after it. And so I so appreciate the words that you shared. And would you mind just sharing a little bit about you talked about the bricklayers in there. I think that's an important story for our listeners to hear about how you approach the work that you do.
Yeah, well, probably the place to start is just to reference the story about the bricklayer story. Goes back to the 1600s. A gentleman, after England, London burned, one of the architects was approaching some men who were laying brick, and he said to one of them, "What are you doing?" And the one gentleman said, "Well, I'm laying bricks so I can support my family." And he said to the second one, "Well, what are you doing?" He goes, "Well, I'm building a wall." And he said to the third one, "Well, what are you doing?" "Well, I'm building a cathedral for the king." Yeah. And perspective was everything there. They were doing the same task, but perspective was everything. And so when it comes to what these students were accomplishing here tonight, in my mind, it was important that they understand that they're part of something much bigger than just laying that conduit or wiring that box or whatever they're doing. They are part of something not only for themselves personally and their families, but as part of building Pennsylvania. Yeah. And that in my mind cannot be diminished. It is something that we need to have people see the larger picture and where they fit into it. Yeah. They may not get their name in the front page of the paper or that sort of thing, but none of that really matters at the end of the day.
It truly doesn't.
What matters is good people in the positions where they are, and I reference about the Martin Luther King quote about if you're going to be a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper.
Absolutely.
Do it like Beethoven, or do it like Michelangelo, or some of these people that people will say that was the best electrician because of the work that they did. They recognize their character, the quality of the work that they did, and the benefit that resulted from who they were and what they did.
Yeah.
That's very, very important to me, and that's some of what I try to convey tonight.
Yeah. Well, I greatly appreciate that. I appreciate, you coming out here and sharing that with the students here tonight. And I think I want to make a point to say this. I appreciate how you truly believe that government is here to serve the people. And I just want to say thank you for that, and how you came out and you served these young men and women here tonight by encouraging them to have that right perspective in the way that they do their work. And that's something that we all need to do. We really need to focus. If you're a foreman, you're a leader, or you're a boss or a CEO, and personally, I believe that we're all leaders. If you're out there and you're working, someone is looking at you and you're leading them one way or the other, I would encourage you to be doing your work in a way that shows people what your perspective is. And I would encourage you to make your perspective that one that you're doing it like Beethoven. You're building the Sistine Chapel when you're laying the brick. The reality is we're all building the future. We're all building a life for others to live on the foundations of what we're building here in the trades. And so I just want to encourage you to do that. And I want to say thank you to you, Representative Miller, for being here tonight and supporting us and encouraging us to do that.
I'm very glad to, and it's a team effort.
Absolutely.
We have to work at this together. So
100%.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.